I've got a decent string made for the stick bow. That's braced up nicely and shooting, but it's shot like a dog. Now, if something shoots like a dog, the usual recourse, people start waffling on about arrow spine, this, that and the other. I tend to take the opposite view. I'll tune the bow to shoot my regular arrows. Now if we look at that, the first arrow is the lower one. You can see it's shot well left, and it's also struck at a bit of an angle. It clattered on the bow and sounded like a pig. So I relieved the arrow pass a bit and took the second shot, which looked a bit better. And then I actually chalked up the arrow pass, so you can see that's where the arrow's actually rubbing on the arrow pass. Now I'd assumed that it was going to be making contact sort of up here, but that shows it where it's actually touching, and it's quite nice because it's sort of central that way. But I could relieve the bow a bit more here, because the arrow pass, rather than being, let's look at it this way, rather than being cut away, it was actually bulging out slightly from the grip. So I could relieve it a little bit more still. But that's just a little trick. You know, chalk up the arrow pass, see what your arrow's doing. You don't necessarily have to change the arrows, sometimes you can change the bow. The other factor, of course, is brace height. Often primitives run on a fairly low brace height. You can see that's pretty high on mine. Let's just put a rule on that. Yeah, it's about nearly 6.5 inches. Anyway, there you go, that's just a little update. It's lost a little bit of draw weight where I've gone over it fiddling, fettling, cleaning up the limbs, easing off either side of thin spots. There's a bit of a thin spot there, sort of centre in the frame. I've relieved either side of that. Similarly, that limb, there's a bit of a thin spot there showing in the centre, and I've relieved just left and right of that. But I haven't really shot it seriously. I'll probably take it roving tomorrow, see how it performs. Probably something I'm not going to use a fat lot. And if anyone in the UK wants to buy it, they'd be more than welcome. Now just removing the arrow pass a bit more, and we'll give it another shot. Chalk it up and give it another shot. Right, I'll have another go. There, certainly a cleaner arrow flight, and we can have a look. Yeah, there's the mark. I had actually taken another couple of shots just before this video, and they flew well left again and didn't fly clean, but I saw that the mark on the arrow pass was up here, so I hadn't knocked at the same point. And so this time I relieved the arrow pass a bit further up, because your arrow pass needs to have a reasonable height from there to there and all consistently level, because if your arrow creeps up here and this is wider, you're forcing the arrow left and the flight will be totally different. So if you look like that and line the arrow pass up with the string, you want to have a reasonable length where the string and the arrow pass are in line with each other. Anyhow, that's certainly a bit better. They're both stuck in straight. The first one's a bit left and a bit high, but yeah, second one's nice. I might fiddle a bit more, but that just gives you an idea of, you know, tuning the arrow pass.